Commanders, I'm OUTLANDISHPIXEL and I'm sat in my Cobra Mark IV, which is fitting because I'm in the beta for Horizons. I'm Dr. Killer Vision, which is in Avakali, which is my home system. I am going to go and land on my first planet. Okay, disclaimer, that's a lie. I've done this a few times, trying to, test things out a bit, just make sure everything worked. And from the off, I'm just going to say that I've had some issues with textures not loading, as you can see here. This put me off from making videos for a while. Well, a few days. It's not been out that long, but I delayed doing this just because this really irritated me, and I've been waiting for it to get fixed. I've tried everything. It's a bug that Frontier know about. Lots of people suffering from it, so hopefully it will get fixed because it's it's not great. I'm just gonna show you some of the worst parts of it. You can see here kind of the main texture the ship has loaded, and then you've got the heat vents here, which look awful. Little things like utility hard points. The worst thing is probably these transparent textures, or just textures that aren't there. Therefore, you can see into the model and through the other side. Which, isn't great. But hopefully it'll get fixed, and hopefully when it gets released, I won't have this problem. I mean, I thought I might have made some kind of cinematic videos, but with these texture issues, I'm just... No. These Horizon videos are going to be very rough and just kind of, I'm just winging it really, just kind of showing you all the new features as and when I discover them. So there will be times where I will be confused about things, and no doubt at the time I publish the video, I will have Googled it and discovered how to do whatever said thing is. So just bear that in mind. Okay. Enough yabbering on about that. Let's have a look at what's new outfitting wise. Now, there are some new modules. I'll go into some of them later. The only one I'm going to point out, well, the only two I'm going to point out for this video is the fact that we now have an extra slot here for the Planetary Approach Suite. This basically just lets you land on the planet. You can sell it if you want, although you can't put anything else in it. So that suggests that there will be different sizes, perhaps. You can see this is a size 1 here in a size 8 slot. So who knows, perhaps different types of planets will require different modules, and Frontier will make us buy specific ones to land on planets with atmosphere and stuff in the future. Who knows? Anyway, so your ship will have that. So you don't need to worry about getting one. It will just have it if you have Horizons, obviously. The other module is the Planetary Vehicle Hangar, which, from what I've seen so far, comes in a size 4 or 2. There might be some larger ones. I don't know, because I'm in a Cobra. The size 2 basically expands into another compartment here, where you can fit one vehicle. There's only the Scarab SRV at the minute. And the size 4 has 2 slots of vehicles. So, there you go. That's something to bear in mind. Okay, they are the two modules that I'm going to discuss now. I am going to go towards my planet, which is Avakali 1. I say my planet. It's not my planet. My group, Titan Industries, here, who are in control of the system and the station, we have no outposts or ports on any of the planets in the system, which kind of sucks. I think there's 5 or 6 planets with ports. None of them are run by us, which I find weird. But, I don't know, I might casually mention it to Frontier and say, come on, give us one, come on, and see if maybe they change it for release, but meh. Oh well. Doesn't really matter, I suppose. Okay. I'm going to head towards the planet. So, there's quite a few little changes that I've noticed so far, and I'm sure there will be more that I will notice soon enough. So, now on the navigation panel, you will see different outposts and ports and bases for each planet. So, I'm going to pick Bakagalupai base here, which is on the surface, and that's the only one I can dock at. These two are smaller bases, which might have missions which, you know, demand that you go there and do a certain activity or whatever. But for now, I'm going to go towards this one. Now, one thing I've noticed as well, that this planet texture is... It's not just different. I knew they would be different to some degree, but it's a totally different colour. Totally different colour to the way it was, which is a shame, because I liked the old colour of this planet. It was kind of like a sickly, greeny yellow, but hey-ho. I've entered orbital cruise around the planet now. Now, as soon as I get to 30 kilometers, that is when I will drop out and go into a different phase where I glide. Now, the glide lets me move at a pretty decent speed again, just to kind of make up the gap between me and the destination if I've dropped out, you know, too quickly. You see I'm about 150 kilometers away from the base, and you can even just see it there. If I drop out now and I finish my glide too early, then I will have to travel that distance at my regular instance speed, which sucks. So this takes some getting used to, and the first time you try this, you will probably drop out too far away, which will be irritating, but, you know, just practice it a little bit. So here you go, I'm dropping out now, and I will go into a glide. And the glide, it controls pretty much how you would imagine a ship to glide, so you can't do too much when you're gliding. You can't do any drastic maneuvers, so just kind of bear that in mind and plan for it when you are approaching the planets. Now this is the loading stage, basically. There you go, glide engaged. So I can't do too much, so I'm just going to go in a straight line, get as close as I can, and then I will drop my speed and altitude and make up the rest at my regular speed. 20k, just above it now, so I'm going to drop down. Glide complete. And there you go. Now we're at a decent distance away. You know, the normal kind of distance you'd expect to be from a starport. And there it is. Bakagalupai base. So now, this just acts like a normal starport. You can request docking, and there are no kind of boundaries, or there's no, you know, you're not going to get a fine for getting too close and traveling around the city, if that's what you want to do.
Docking request granted.
So I'll just show that now. So yeah, once you finish your glide, control-wise, this feels just like it does in a normal instance in space. So I can pull back my throttle, and I will come to a complete stop with gravity, you know, not affecting me.
Flight assist
and
off.
if I put flight assist off, and again, gravity doesn't affect me in this mode either.
Flight assist
However,
on.
gravity does affect you. Well, think about it with your velocity. The faster you're going, the more effect gravity seems to have on you. So you might think you're pulling up at the right time. If you're doing a nosedive straight into the ground, you might think you're pulling up at the right time, but then you'll discover that you end up careering straight into the ground. So gravity does affect you slightly, and it's just about practicing and getting a kind of instinct for it. So just bear that in mind before you take your really expensive cutter and smash it straight into the ground in the release version. you do it in this version, it doesn't matter as much because you don't lose as much money. So I'm just going to fly through here a little bit. You can see some of the textures here aren't totally great. Again, it's a bug which will get fixed, hopefully. I can get pretty low without... Oh! I can get too low. Don't know why I hit that. Remember, these ships are huge. You know, IRL. There you go. So this city's pretty big, and you could drive around it. I haven't really discovered much reason for driving around it yet, but you can. Okay, let's dock.
Landing gear deployed.
It's just as usual, you know. Same things apply when it comes to docking here. Oh, too fast! Oh. You see there, you'll whack on your vertical upwards thrust, and you will realise that it does a lot less than it does in space.
Docking successful. Engines disengaged.
Okay. Here we are. On a planet. Awesome. So that's it. That's my first landing. Well, my first televised landing of sorts. I would enter the hangar, but... Go on, I'll enter the hangar then. I'm dreading what... There you go. Look at that. Lovely. Yeah, just... yeah. Yeah. It doesn't... Yeah, look. Incredible. Never mind. Okay, guys. In my next video, I will do some SRV stuff, I reckon. Alright, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the black.